except the guy that was meant to see it. I showed you guys I went across the internet, and to show you how good my memory was, I proved it to you back in time in this video. Show it to you again.
Barely discernible in this image, number 67 is believed to be one of the most startling and mystifying clues in the entire manuscript. If you look closely at the writing on the small book,
Nostradamus was French, and in his manual he actually wrote in English, one male. Ergo, the guy deciphering the Nostradamus prophecies has to be a male. He's going to identify as some kind of a beast. You guys only see my one hand because the other one is censored. That was the defining thing in here. I wouldn't have cared if this was all in gibberish. Signs and symbols that woke me up to my true calling. More to come.
Book's page in this drawing, you can see clearly, in unmistakable English, the words, one male. The remaining...
And it was right there, guys, because this is where I outed the History Channel for being a fraud. Because they went and inverted the image. They threw that in the public's eye. They put it backwards. They lied. They didn't want the truth of this manual getting out. This is the original manuscript. This image only fell into my hands one day. It's almost impossible to come by on the internet. When I was giving up on this Nostradamus crap, so why is this my curse? I don't care about this. And the day this image came into my lap, the instant I saw it, I remembered the History Channel video, and they had doctored the image. They put it in there backwards. I would never have been able to complete my mission and tell you what I'm telling you right now without this image that fell into my hands. Of all the people in the world, would you have ever caught that flashing across a TV screen? No, you wouldn't. It means nothing to you. It's gibberish. It's everything. The line is backwards. That, my friends, is the power of Nostradamus. So this is an important part of the show to establish credibility, is what I'm trying to do, to show you something. I said I might be an odd character, but I also told you guys that the shifting axis is coming in our time, the pole reversal. When all is said and done, the end of the age is ended with the pole reversal. The Hopi people, which is important because I'm going to talk about them, foretold that the earth has been manipulated by not so benevolent star beings that the Bible says cannot exist. The Bible also states that the earth is immovable. So how are the poles manipulated if the earth is immovable? I'm on a quest for truth, guys. I don't care who I destroy or what it takes. I'm not going to live in a lie. And that's the important part. I'm trying to show people. Incredible how this is all. I still reel. I've tried to walk away from this. No. I've burnt this crap. But the thing is, guys, most of what I know, I've been trying to tell you, I was shown in one night. It was like a download. It's my calling and my purpose. It was the very night I saw the great sign in heaven. It was just like the abilities to see through time and space and have knowledge of the future. Not a clue what it meant, but it was a path that was set down for me in that time. That's what I'm trying to show people. And one final thing I'm going to show you again, that I was the only guy in the world to point out and get it right.
Those at ease suddenly cast down. The world troubled by three brothers. The maritime city by enemies seized. Hunger, fire, blood, plague, evils doubled.
The three great princes of the air are coming at the time of the axis shift, the pole reversal. I told you all of this in advance. So there's my play to explain my point of view, guys. And it's not about being right. I will never be famous for anything I'm doing. I don't expect to be. I expect to save the world by waking it up, by stopping the nuclear war that Donald J. Trump is going to be responsible for. And I'm going to show you the prophecies. So I hope you enjoy what's said in the show, and I hope you can share this with friends and understand knowledge is power. The more people in this world wake up to the time that we are in, we can change time. We are the creators of our reality. The world is being led by a script right now. script that's controlled by not so benevolent star beings that the Bible says can't exist. And we're going to put that to the test tonight, because I'm going to show you the counsels and knowledge coming in from the Bible, from Revelation, which is the wild part, because you know the 24 that would bow down and pray to God, and there was descriptions in the Bible of some crazy beings up in there. Well, I got an eyewitness account of who they are and where they are and what they're doing. And that's the most mind-blowing part. The Bible is real, but we're getting the real truth of the Bible, who's who and what's what. Impossible for the average human on earth just to start working in the astral planes and getting this knowledge, but all shall be revealed. That was the promise in the Bible. It's up to you to get an understanding of the revelations. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. This message just came out today from Cosmic Agency. She speaks directly with the Taygetans. They are here in high orbit around the Earth right now. They are the military guardians of the planet in the higher realms. Now, I want to be clear, guys and people, the first thing that's going to come with a lot of the religious is I thought Jesus created the universe 6,000 years ago. No. Jesus is an ascended master. Lord Sananda and Lord Buddha are both said to be back here right now. And I tell people, we gotta wisen up on this planet and start reading. Read, learn. It's not about your beliefs, it's about the truth. The truth shall set you free. Do you honestly think that every word in that Bible is the precise truth? That's the horrifying part if you do. It's a great guide, don't ever get me wrong, guys, but I'm gonna have to point this out. And let's start it off right here with this message.
Taygeta is the main engine of positive ET presence on Earth. The negative ones on Earth need us removed because they are losing. This group of Taygetan ships came back in 1952. We as a race have been...
That's all I needed to hear. All I needed to hear right off the start is dates and times, guys, because everything is going to be proved now. They came to the Earth. The Starseed movement only got to the Earth at that time. At that exact same time, Admiral Byrd met with the Hollow Earth civilization a little bit before. They are the watchers of the Earth. They gave him a warning to take back to the leaders.
We shall not long delay your mission, and you will be safely escorted back to the surface and for a distance beyond. But now, Admiral, I shall tell you why you have been summoned here. Our interest rightly begins just after your race exploded the first atomic bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. It was at that alarming time we sent our flying machines, the Flugerods, to your surface world to investigate what your race had done. That is, of course, past history now, my dear Admiral, but I must continue on. You see, we have never interfered before in your race's wars and barbarity, but now we must. For you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for man, namely, that of atomic energy. Our emissaries have already delivered messages to the powers of your world, and yet they do not heed. Now you have been chosen to be witness here that our world does exist. You see, our culture and science is many thousands of years beyond your race, Admiral. I interrupted, but what does this have to do with me, sir? The Master's eyes seemed to penetrate deeply into my mind. And after studying me for a few moments, he replied, "Your race has now reached the point of no return, for there are those among you who would destroy your very world, rather than relinquish their power as they know it." I nodded, and the Master continued, "In 1945 and afterward, we tried to contact your race, but our efforts were met with hostility. Our Flugerods were fired upon, yes, even pursued with malice and animosity by your fighter planes. So, now I say to you, my son, there is a great storm gathering in your world, a black fury that will not spend itself for many years. There will be no answer in your arms. There will be no safety in your science. It may rage on until every flower of your culture is trampled, and all human things are leveled in vast chaos. Your recent war was only a prelude of what is yet to come for your race. We here see it more clearly with each hour. Do you say I'm mistaken?" "No," I answer. "It happened once before. The Dark Ages came and they lasted for more than 500 years. "Yes, my son," replied the Master. The dark ages that will come now for your race will cover the earth like a pall. But I believe that some of your race will live through the storm. Beyond that, I cannot say. We see at a great distance a new world stirring from the ruins of your race, seeking its lost and legendary treasures. And they will be here, my son, safe in our keeping. When that time arrives, we shall come forward again to help revive your culture and your race. Perhaps by then, you will have learned the futility of war and its strife. And after that time, certain of your culture and science will be returned for your race to begin anew. You, my son, are to return to the surface world with this message.
The leaders of America tried to warn the American people about the military-industrial complex. They did not listen, nor did they get the message from the Hollow Earth civilization, which would have destroyed the Bible and all religions of the world right then and there. I played that message many times for a reason, guys, because it was significant. Admiral Byrd was an American war hero, a well-respected, a God-fearing man, served his country, but left that in his diaries because he didn't want to go to the grave with that knowledge on his chest, and neither do I. That's why it's going to be said. 1952. So you're telling us back in 1952 there was an alien involvement on the Earth. Oh my. And now we're getting into the Vatican. Right there, guys, because it wasn't the devil. It was the aliens in 1952. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Petrus Romanus, the prophecy of the popes. Written by St. Malachi. Given to the Vatican. 1149, somewhere in there. Unbelievable knowledge, guys. But the very last pope, Petrus Romanus, the final pope, Peter the Roman. Do you see the dates? He was a prophet and a seer, and he saw that the last pope would fall at the exact same time that the great sign in heaven would occur. The exact same sign that Nostradamus knew was going to occur in 2017. Do you guys see it now? There it was. That's how I prove my case, guys. It's not my idle chit-chat and speculation and looking through the Bible, because Revelation is a standalone prophecy. It was written 90 years after the death of Jesus. 91, whatever it was. It was a vision given because God declared the future. Ergo, he got a vision either from the angels or from God himself or whoever, right? I don't know the story. I'm putting things to clutter my life with. Do you get it now? Jesus died, the future was declared, Revelation was born. Did it ever occur to you that God foresaw when Jesus' child, the very last one, the one that would be king, would be born? And amazingly, right at the same time as the great sign in heaven, do you not think God has that power? Yes or no? Regardless of what you believe, whether he has a bloodline or not, I have a lot more to tell on that subject. It's not about debasing Christianity, it's about the truth, the beautiful truth. Do you guys see it now? You telling me God just couldn't look into the future? Would know exactly which child would be born? The second anything happened? That's the wild part, guys, I'm trying to show you. That's why it was written in the stars. God declared the future at that moment. He stamped this day in the stars is going to be the first day of the tribulation. 3.5 years into the future, Satan's getting cast to the earth. The wild thing is, guys, right now, there's a council sitting above our heads deciding our fate. They're claiming that peace has been made. There's a million stories, guys. I'll give them all to you. But here's what I'm trying to warn the world about. Only God declares the future. That God would already know that this council is going to fail, and that Satan, whatever that is, whatever that metaphor is for, is going to betray that council because war is going to break out in heaven in March of 2021. If God could foresee the exact day that the last living descendant of Jesus was born, do you not think he could see, this isn't going to work no matter what you do? Because you guys haven't changed the story. You haven't changed the script. If you fall for a nuclear war, well, guess what? Satan's getting cast to the earth because he's already run. Or to make matters worse, Satan's here trying to change the script. Doesn't concern me in the least. I gotta play the game. Because the bottom line is, guys, for those that think they're chosen in this world, they're all proud and happy and thinking they're Jewish. But you're all going to die. You read the Bible a little more closely. It's not until all of them are slaughtered does Jesus return. So you might want to take interest in your path in life if you think you're chosen. I've never claimed to be part of the 144,000. A starseed, yes. The starseeds that were called from across the universe to come and help. That doesn't mean that I am. That's a different story. They came here to change the balance. Because the negative forces interfered with Earth affairs. Do you see it now? 1952 you got here. And guess who this Pope is, guys? Because when I look through the prophecy of the popes, right there, Eugenio Pacelli. There's a symbol. Oh my. The dove and the leaves. Want a little bit more? Oh, amazing. Somebody's trying to doctor that picture because it's right there. Guys, there is him leaving a meeting with Hitler. There's his overcoat. It was red back in time. Unbelievable how this is all interconnected, guys, because you go back to the Nazis, the first alien grumblings, the crazy Nazi technology. They got into the Vatican at that exact moment in time, and that message proves it because that's when they got here. The reptilians had overrun the Vatican. Now fast forward into the future. Petrus Romanus, Peter of Rome, Peter's Cross, the final pope. Who is here in power right now in 2017, my friend? It's the final pope, Peter the Roman. Do you guys see it now? Peter the Roman, Petrus Romanus, has already denied Christ. He did not acknowledge the great sign in heaven, and I am giving you the final playbook to the end of days. If you believe that book was written by the hand of God, then believe this: the great sign in heaven was the great sign in heaven. They didn't tell you about it because they are going to betray you. Do you see it now? Because after Pope Francis, and I'm going to remind you guys, yet again, Pope Francis changed to black shoes. Of all times in human history, all the other popes, the red shoes, you changed to black. Because the final pope is a clone. It is put there by the fallen angels on the throne of the Vatican. This will be the false prophet of Revelation. Black shoes. This is Petrus Romanus. There's no doubt about it. It was Peter that denied Jesus 3 times before the rooster crowed. It will happen twice. The first head of Jesus' church was Peter. The last head of Jesus' church, so-called head, will be Peter of Rome. You are caught. There is no other human that could take that throne. Not hold it for any amount of time. No matter how much you change the script, guys, you cannot beat Nostradamus because you changed the script. And again, I don't care what the media says. You're trying to be humble, fit in. Okay, that's fine. But you're caught. Unbelievable, guys. Do you think the fallen angels put the Pope on the throne like 600 years ago? Or is he the last one to come? The church is collapsing right now from within. Exactly the way Nostradamus had prophesied, talking with Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon did past life regression and got a hold of Nostradamus.
Oh, definitely. Oh, he had the whole chapters and chapters on the Catholic Church. And I kept telling him, you're just wishful thinking, because he was being harassed by the Catholic Church during the time of the Inquisition.